Cool. Yay. Andy, how's it going?
G'day, Craig. Hi, everyone.
Nice to
Yeah,
meet
really
you
good.
in virtual face. So it was just voice before, now it's a face. Monday it'll be for real. Who knows?
Yeah,
Crazy world.
hope so.
I met you 2 times
Well,
before I actually
I
met you.
did an interview with a robot today, so yeah, it's getting
Did you?
that's the next
What was that?
step.
What was that? That sounds
That was
interesting.
that was a job interview.
Ah, really?
Yeah,
For a robotics firm.
that'd make sense. Unfortunately, not.
Oh, what was the job?
A public sector job. So
Oh,
that's how they're doing it now.
wow.
Yeah,
Ah.
outsourcing to a private recruitment company, who then employs a robot to do the interviews.
Wow, that's epic.
How bizarre.
Yeah,
That's nuts.
totally nuts.
I don't think I'd be wanting that job. Sorry.
Well, the job itself deals with people, but you know, it is mad, isn't it? Like
wow.
cost cutting
costs.
and yeah, that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Robots are cheaper now. What I'll do, so it's 5 minutes, 6 minutes past, I just sent a message to Georgie, but we've actually got 2 people here representing North Byron, so we should be cool. So we've got Cass and Lily, who are representing North Byron team. So that's Mullumbimby and Ocean Shores and Bruns and sort of the North part. We've got Andy, who's representing South Byron, which is Byron Bay, Suffolk, Bangalow, and the sort of hinterland. Juliet is Murwillumbah, and Gus is the Tweed Coast. So we've got leaders from every part, which is amazing. I'm so pleased because trying to do this all at once, we've never done before in this region. So I guess it's a testament to how amazing Mandy is that we can just like do it all at once over this weekend and May 15 weekend, and then we'll do some the following weekend, and then hopefully we'll have all the data that we need, and then we can get all our messaging really tight, and then we can launch an amazing campaign at the right time. Beck, while you're here, do you want to do acknowledgement of country?
Sure. I'm not sure where everyone is, but I think wherever we are, we can acknowledge that we're all on Aboriginal land. So I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet. For me, it's the Arakwal people of the Bundjalung Nation. I'd like to pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and also acknowledge that sovereignty was never ceded. So we are all meeting on stolen land.
Thank you. That's great. So what I will do today is I'll just basically run through what we'll do on the day, what you guys will do on the day. Lily and Cass, you also have Georgie, so you can decide who wants to lead and you can just share duties easily. But I've made a guide that I've sort of made it as detailed as possible. So you can you'll have that with you on the day. So if all the stuff I say today, don't feel like you have to remember anything, even though I'm recording this, so I can send you a copy. You'll actually have a guide there with you and you can just step through and read it, and say, oh, do this, and then you do this, and then you do this. Because we've done this for I think the grid's done this for 10 years and we've refined it. And it's very formulaic as far as you can make it really easy for you and for the volunteers. So hopefully I'll go through everything in detail though, just so that hopefully answer every question. And there's Georgie. So there'll be 3 of you for the North Byron team. So you'll have lots of support, and Mandy will be there with you as well. I think she's going to join the North Byron team because that's where she lives in Mullen, but she'll be over at the Ocean Shores. Hey, George.
Hi, thank you for reminding me.
Oh, good. We just started, so all good. So what I will do, I'll just share screen and apologize for like crazy whatever is on the screen, because I probably have million tabs open. Not too many. Not like Bex. Bex has about 5,000 tabs along the top. Let's see. Community survey guide. Okay, cool. Can everyone see that?
Yep.
This is a Google Doc, so I'm going to make it into a PDF and I'm going to print it out and you're going to have it with you on the day, and I'll send it to you in advance. But just on this page is a really simple to-do list. So I'll go through that. Basically, the day before, you'll have a list of all the people, and you just need to, ideally, if you don't know them, give them a buzz. But if you do know them, you just send them a text. If they don't answer, that's fine. You just leave a message and then send them a text. Just say, hey, looking forward to meeting you tomorrow. Yeah. If you do want something, if you're not sure what to text or say, I can give you a script or whatever. But it's generally just being friendly and saying reminder, because people forget. And it's where it is, the date and time. So I'll see you tomorrow, meeting so-and-so place at 10 a.m. And then there's a stack of folders. So how many people you've got in your team, I'll make a folder for each of the people. And it's basically, I've got down here what's in the folders. So inside the volunteers folder, so they've got a map of the little place that they'll be going. And in that's got all the voter data of the people that vote in that region. And then they've got flyers that we've almost got printed. I can give you a little look at those. They're looking cool. And blank surveys. So they've got the map, they go to the first door, they knock on the door, they fill out the survey if the person's keen, and that's it. So it's really easy for the volunteers. So you just remind them, and you need to get the folders somehow. I could drop them off the day before, but if someone's going to Mullum and pick them up, if you're from far out, that'd be great. But we'll work that out. And then on the day, so you just need to get there obviously in time. I usually go 15 minutes early because sometimes people come early and then you can have a chat. And I sign people in as they arrive. So here's the sign in. Can you see that? This is the sign in sheet. So you have this in your folder and you just get everyone to fill in their name and their number. So we need their number here. So if there's an issue, you can call them, or if they don't come back, you can call them. So that's a safety issue. They've got their own little piece of the voter roll, which has a number. So you put that in there, and then we know where everyone is. And then later, when we're matching up the surveys, we can know what people said in what little part of town. And then at the end, you can fill out how many they completed, because we're keeping a running tally so we can get our data to the right level of detail. And then you tick that off when they've returned the folder at the end. Obviously, it's voter data, so it's sensitive. They'll have a small block of the voter roll, and so they really need to return it. And then if they can come the following week, you tick that, and then we can put them on the list and they'll come along the following week. So that's the sign-in form. And you sort of use it when they sign out at the end. So you sign them in as they arrive, and then you go through this training. So the training's about 15 minutes. I've got a really detailed thing of what to go through, so you can just have that with you. So like I said, all of the stuff you don't need to remember. So I'll just go through it with you, but it's all written down in this guide. So the training, so I'll go through it. So obviously welcome everyone as they arrive. When most of the people that you expect are arriving, I don't like leaving it too late after the start. If you're like, oh, where's everyone? Or like there's people missing, it's best to get cracking. Yeah. So usually wouldn't go later than 15 minutes after the time, but you can judge that. I would do an acknowledgement of country or invite one of the volunteers to do that, which is a really nice way of sharing that with other people. And often someone will be happy to do it, or do that if you like. It's up to you. And the North Byron team, perhaps Mandy might like to do it, or if Delta K might be there, so she wouldn't be able to do one, which would be nice. But yeah, I think it's really important to start meetings with that. Obviously, I'm from New Zealand and we don't do that, but I love the cultural element of that and respect to Indigenous of Australia. All right, so then basically you're telling them, reminding them what we're doing, yeah? So this is all written in this guide on the second page, but I'll just go through it here. We're collecting data because this is a democracy. We want to listen to people. We're listening and asking questions. So we're not telling people stuff, we're listening and we're asking. So we need to really reinforce that with the volunteers. We're representing Mandy, so we need to be friendly, and 5 minutes is plenty long enough to talk to someone. I wouldn't go, I'd set a hard limit of 10 minutes because we've got lots of people that we want to hear from. We don't want one Joe Blogs, in Ocean Shores who bends your ear for an hour and you don't get to get a survey from anyone else. So these are just guidelines to say to people, yep, we want to talk to lots of people, 5 minutes is plenty. Then you go through what's in their folder, so the volunteers know what they've got. Here it is, what's in their folder, which I just explained. So a map of where they're going, the voter data of everyone that lives in that little piece of the electorate. Obviously, we have access to that because we're a political party and it's sensitive information. So yeah, they need to return it. And then we've got a stack of flyers that they can give out to anyone they meet on the door and leave behind. Often if they're at the door of someone, they're not home. So half of the people that you knock on won't be home. You can ask the volunteers to write on the flyer and just leave it at the door, because then they know a real person has come. I'll usually write, hey, you weren't home, I wanted to chat, nice garden, and do a smiley face. And I'll just leave it just at their door. They'll know a real person came to talk to them. But that's up to the volunteer if they want to do that. What's next? The blank surveys, obviously. So each person that they agrees to have a chat, they fill out the survey, which is just a bunch of questions so that the volunteer knows exactly what to say. Yeah, because it's just basically a script, but it's just got a little box for them to fill out underneath each question. So that's just one A4 page, and each time someone agrees to have a chat, they fill it out. So that's the data that we're really keen to get. And you sort of repeat how important the data is. Like, we're doing this because this is going to inform, everything that we do. It's so important. Like, if we get the right information from here and pass it to the research, we'll get our messaging down, we'll resonate with the voters, we'll get the votes, and we can win the election. So the data is really important. They have to really write legibly. Like, if we can't read it, it's no use. And so all the work that we do is no good. So just stress to them, it's really important to write clearly. It's really important to fill out every part of the survey. It's really important to number the box, all these different things. Yeah. Data. Yeah. So they'll write on the survey, they'll write the person's that they're talking to first name, and the address, because we can match that to the voter database later, and we can go, oh, cool, we can do all sorts of great stuff with that. But that's again on the data. It says, hey, my name's Craig. Sorry, what was your first name? You can get their first name of the person once they've agreed to do the survey. All right. Then on the survey, there's something called support levels. So I'll go down actually here. So this is all the stuff I've been saying. So don't think you have to remember all this, because you've got to have this with you at the training, so you can just go through it on you have a leaders folder there. So it's got like this in there, so you can just go through it. So you need to clarify with them what the support levels are. So after they've had a chat, they're going to say, oh, one of the survey questions is, how supportive are you of Mandy and the Greens? Are you 1, strong support, weak support, undecided? So everyone has their own sort of definition of what these support levels are, but they're really important, because at the end, we've got all this collection of issues that people care about, and we know exactly the people that are sitting on the fence, which are weak support and undecided, all the issues they care about are the ones that we need to message. Yeah. So we might get a whole lot of people saying, this is a problem for me, rah, 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 but they're not open to voting for the Greens at all. Do you know what I mean? So this support level is really how it gives us an idea of what message we really need to focus on. I mean, the Greens, we've got 100 messages and we've got 100 issues, and we've got policies on everything. It's all online. But we really want to know what ones resonate for these areas that we know we can increase the vote massively, because we've got to get 5,000 new votes, which is quite a lot. But we've done it before. So in 2016, the vote went up 5,000 votes. So it's totally doable. And we didn't have a Mandy then. So So it's looking good. So yeah, these support levels. Has anyone got any questions at this stage?
Yeah, can I
Yeah,
ask a quick
Yeah,
question?
go for it.
Is this questionnaire, is this survey being done in every electorate every electorate that has a Greens candidate?
No.
Just
So these surveys only get done in seats where there's lots of volunteers, and that only happens in seats for which the Greens have a chance of winning. And this is like a test. So we'll do these surveys, and then right before the election, it'll be similar, but we'll do it with heaps of volunteers because everyone gets involved. And so your teams will be much bigger, and we'll do it right before the election because that's when everyone's thinking about voting. But at that time, when we do this stuff, we need to have our messaging tight. So this is like a preliminary round. It's similar, but this one we're really wanting to find out what those messages we use are right before the election.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. I guess from my perspective, it's a very skewed and narrow perspective that you're addressing.
In which way?
Because it's so, I mean, obviously we're addressing these for Mandy particularly, but in terms of influencing overall Greens messaging, yeah,
it's just messaging for the seat. Yeah, we've got actually, there is nationwide messaging that the Greens have worked out for Australia that they use for all the other seats. And we have that, but to win, I guess, this seat, we need hyper refined messaging in these 5 spots. And things might come up that we don't know about. Like it's really easy to make assumptions in politics. Oh, everyone cares about climate change, but they might actually just be voting because their roads are shit. And we won't know until we ask them all. And I mean, that's the case in Byron Bay. It's got better actually than it was 5 years ago. People are talking about it less, but we just have to do this stuff to hyper localize our message, And another, I guess, issue is we get reflected back different things because we're in bubbles, and our bubbles might not contain the voters that need to come across. They might contain Green supporters, Mandy supporters. We need to bring across people that might not even know about Mandy and Tweed and Ballina. I guess they'll know about it more in Ballina. So it's a real tricky one.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thanks.
No worries. These support levels. So support level 1 is strong support. So this is someone that always votes for Green. You'll know, the volunteers will know when they meet this person because they'll be on the door. Oh, yay, Mandy, the Greens. I love the Mandy. I love the Greens. Yeah, this is great. So that's a strong support. So it's not someone that's like, yeah, I suppose they're like, you're supportive of the Greens. They're like, oh, yeah, sort of. Yeah, I guess so. That's not a 1, that's a 2. So a 2 is someone that's less than 100% supportive. And then there's a 3, which they might consider it, but they're probably voting for one of the other parties. And then a 4 obviously is not open, but they're not, they're open for a chat. And then 5 is, what, the Greens stuff? And that, and then the answer at the volunteers is, thanks, okay, see ya, because we're not going to bring those 5s across ever. And actually, we don't go back to those houses. So that sort of makes it better for volunteers in the future when we've captured that data. So that's really important, the support levels. So then it's just things about safety. So just tell them, look, don't enter any house or go up to any door that feels wrong. Everyone sort of knows what that intuitively means. You go past the house, you go, I'm not knocking on that door for some reason. Don't. So you can tell people that. If they have to skip a house for any reason, that's fine. There's lots and lots and lots of houses. If any policy issues, questions come up, we're not there to know all the policies. That's the candidate's job. And we don't want to have a policy argument because we want to listen to what they have to say. We don't want to be talking. So make it clear to the volunteers, it's not our job to know anything. We're a volunteer for Mandy. And if someone really wants the Greens policy on XYZ, please ask for their email address and someone will get back to them. And that's great. It's a great opportunity for Mandy to engage with someone on that issue. Oh yeah. So you tell the volunteers there's a place for them to write your phone number on their map on the front top sheet of their data, so that they can call you if they have a problem. So again, that's a safety and support issue. Then it's about taking a group photo, and that's so you can send it through and we can put it on social media. Obviously, ask people if they're happy to be in a photo, and then take a picture, and then you can send it to me. And we'll collate one from the 5 teams, and Mandy, I'm sure, will do a post because she's great at her social media. And then you choose a cafe or a pub that is nearby and tell people to return at 12:30. And then you say, go and get them, good luck. So does that all make sense? It seems like a lot there, but I guess if you read through it, you should be fine. How does that sound? Yeah?
Sounds good
Got a couple of nods.
and very doable.
Yep. That's thanks for putting all that information down so clearly for us, Craig.
Yeah, I just tried to write as much as I could think so that you can actually just have this in front of you and go through it, and you don't think, oh, I have to do that, oh, I have to do that. But if you do all this stuff, that's basically it. So
that was really well done, Craig.
Mhm.
I've had one volunteer say the morning is not great because, you know, people are out with sport and shopping and all sorts of things like that. So
yeah, they had a couple in Ballina as well. So they could actually come at the end point and you could give them the folder, and then you can just make it really clear it's their responsibility to either get it back to me or get it back to you.
yeah, okay.
Because we can actually do these surveys anytime, but it's more motivating for a team of people to get together. And we really want people to get to know the campaigners in the area, because everyone on this call, we will, with Mandy, we will get her elected. That's who's going to do it. This is our team. And the people that come and meet you guys, that's our team as well, because the power of talking to voters outweighs anything else. Like, it's so clear in all the research that we've done. So yeah, meeting up with people is great. And the reason we meet at the end at a pub or a cafe is it's more casual. At the end, you're not rushed for time. People can debrief and then they can take off, or you can hang out and have a drink and a chat and people, because we all have the same.
Sorry, I probably didn't communicate that very well. So what they're saying is the punters, the people we're going to be, door knocking.
Oh, you're right. They're not going to be home.
They're not going to be home. That's what they're saying.
Well, yeah, they're never really home when you want them to be home. But
yeah, that's right.
It's more like a random thing. Yeah.
Okay.
And
so what time are we starting? Sorry, just to clarify.
We start at 10.
And
and you tell them to come back at 12:30.
Yeah, perfect.
And then you start the debrief at 12:45, and then it should be finished by 1.
Great.
Yeah. So if you're going through what to do, you've done the training with the people and you say, bye, have fun. I just keep my phone on and I do a few surveys while I'm waiting, and then I go back early to the meeting point, so I'm there when people finish, because some people finish their list really quick. They by chance happened to no one was home, and you need your phone on in case someone calls with an issue. Oh, both of my pens ran out and I can't continue, or oh, I fell in a ditch. Oh, that's okay. Whatever happened, crazy things happen. And then we just have to debrief them. So I'll go to the debrief. Oh, is everyone good to this point? We've got to the point. We've trained everyone.
How many people are going to, how many potential voters are going to be on the lists?
There's usually about 30 houses.
30 houses in essentially 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it's totally doable. It depends if you chat for a long time.
Yeah.
So on average, it's like 30 houses, 15 of people are home, 10 people are up for a chat. So you get 10 survey results. Okay. So that's sort of averages. Ocean Shores can be tough because the houses are spread out and it's hilly. So, but people don't have to finish their if they don't finish their list, that's fine. You know, we can make new lists the following week. So people just do what they can, and we'll do the best we can, and everyone has different abilities, and we just do what we can. Yeah. And sometimes I'd usually make a block that's sort of circular so that they walk around a block. So sometimes it's 20 houses and sometimes it's 40 houses. So it's just sort of depends on how the lay of the land. Here, Juliet, you had your hand up.
Yeah, sorry, I was on mute. With the map of the districts that we're covering, are we deciding where we're going, or are you from past experience giving us a map of where we should be focusing?
Yeah, so I'm making lots of small maps all around the meeting point for how many people you have. You're probably best to keep the one for you right next to the meeting where you're meeting afterwards, so that you can do it and then come back and you don't have to take off. And then you just hand them out randomly to whoever, or you know, if someone wants to be close, great. If someone wants to be in Brunswick Heads, great, or whatever, you know. So depending on where, yeah, you just hand them out. It's just sort of random. But I make all these little maps out of by cutting them out of the voter roll. And it's a cool system. The Greens have made it, or some Greens volunteers made this system where the voter roll is geographically defined and you can cut little pieces out and turns them into lists. So they'll have that, and then they'll have a stack of survey forms. Okay, so I'll just go through the debrief when they come back. So as they come back, you just say, cool, how'd you go? Don't get into long conversations, because we want to capture the debrief conversation as a group so that everyone can learn what was good and what was bad from each other, because they learn a lot from each other. So just ask them just to check that all your surveys forms are complete and your name's at the top of the form and everything's filled in. Again, it's the data. If we don't have good data, we don't have anything. Then you just check the sign-in sheet to make sure everyone's come back. If the time is up and someone's not back, like call it a 1, just give them a buzz and see that they're all right. It's obviously a duty of care. And then you run through a debrief form. So you'll have the debrief form in your folder. So you've got this guide, you've got the attendance sheet and the debrief sheet. It'll make sense when you've got it. It's actually pretty easy. So you make sure that they've come back, and then you go through the debrief. So you just sort of go around the circle and get people to say, like, what was the best conversation you had, and they talk about it and you write it down. And then any questions that you have or any challenges, so that, and they're like, oh, this was a problem. And then you're like, oh yeah, what could you have done? And they all share, and it's great. And then you just collect how many surveys they did each, which goes in there, number of surveys. And then you ask them if they can come next week, please come next week, boom, and put it there. And then it's like, it's really important, all the work that you've done with, like, this is going to inform exactly what are going to be on flyers, on posters, what Mandy's going to say, you know, to these different, if we go to a meeting in Brunswick Town Hall, it's going to inform what she's going to say. It's going to inform like her interviews, everything. So what they're doing is really important. So just stress that with them, make them feel really important, because they are. Everyone that comes is really valuable. And then, yeah, just say, cool, time's up. So thanks heaps, go for it. And if you want to stay and have a drink and a chat, you can do that too. How does that sound? There's a lot of information all at once.
I've got one other question. Sorry, I'll keep doing it.
No, keep asking questions. Are good.
The expectation of coming back the following week.
Yeah.
Is that going to be, so that's going to be at the same time?
Yeah.
You're not varying the time of taking. Oh.
We can do it. We could do a different time, but
no,
try to keep it simple. Really.
And then they'll be going to a different area, so you'll give them a different list, or is it going to be? Yeah, okay.
It's a different area. So the North Byron team are going to Ocean Shores the first weekend. Because there'll be lots of volunteers in that team, they'll probably get most of Ocean Shores knocked off in 10 chunks. So the following week, probably going to Bruns, South Golden, and sort of north and south of Ocean Shores. So to get that complete area knocked off. Who else? Murwillumbah's a big town, so we'll stay there twice. We'll do one side of the town the first weekend, the other side of the town the second weekend. The Tweed Coast will be, I think that's Cabarita Beach and then Pottsville. So those 2 townships are really important for us to understand. And then the Ballina, they're doing Lennox Head and then East Ballina. Oh, and Bangalow. So it's Bangalow the first weekend, second weekend is Suffolk Park. So they're all, if we get all those regions knocked off, we're going to get a really killer snapshot of what people are thinking about, and really, and we're going to pass that to a professional research company who are then going to test all the messaging and test different ideas. But it's going to pull our research costs down by about 80%. It's because they know, okay, these are the things we can test, not test everything, you know. So it's, yeah, really valuable. Obviously, we don't have much money because we're the Greens, and that's how we do things. Yeah, Juliet. There you
Sorry, I
are.
was muted. So after the 15th, what's the next day that we're going to be going out?
May 22nd. So we'll do May 15 and then May 22nd. It's really tricky choosing dates because if you do a whole lot, then you have to turn up to a whole lot, and it doesn't work for some people when you have one person turn up one day and one person. So just trying to condense it, even if it's not best for everyone, we'll just do what we can. I've got big lists of people to call next week to try and build up the team numbers. So if anyone wants to help out on Tuesday or Monday or whatever, I've got a list of people that have done this in the past that aren't currently RSVP'd. So we're going to call through those. Anyone that hasn't been called, I'm going to send a text message on Wednesday and say, hey, we're doing this thing, come along. And I think we'll have the numbers. So as far as volunteer numbers, which is great when we don't even know when the election is, which again is a testament to Mandy's, how much we love her.
I just want to let you know that my connection is dropping out. I don't know why.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it wasn't mine.
I'm losing you every now and again.
Okay, I've recorded this session so I can send it to everyone. You can skip along if you missed something, and feel free to buzz me anytime about anything, because this is what I'm going to do 24/7 till the election. So I've just
thank you.
Oh, thank you guys. We're all volunteers. So I mean, Beck's full-time work and she's volunteering full-time, and I'm volunteering full-time, but you guys are volunteering. It's just so important. I'm sure you all feel the same way. If Mandy can get in and she can actually have someone of that caliber, of that type of person in Parliament, who knows what could happen. International, you know, she could be a Jacinda Ardern for Australia. You could, you know, it's just something magical would happen. And so that's what we want to do. Beck, have you got anything you might want to add?
That was all awesome, and I'm training up too from Craig as a backup, just in case it's required. So yeah, that was super easy. Thanks, Craig. And I'm really, really excited. I can't wait.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's going to be epic. But she's got such a great team already of people helping her. She's doing this. I'll tell you guys a little bit before we go. I'll show you this flyer that we've made that you'll be handing out. Let's see. This isn't quite finished, so I've got to refine a little bit. But so that's the front. That's the only picture we've got of Mandy, but it's an awesome picture, fortunately.
I can't see it.
You got to share your screen, Craig.
Yeah, it's not coming up.
Hold on. Share. Go. Here we go. So these are the messages that we're going to run with just for this survey. So obviously these will change when we get the research complete, but climate change, housing, support for women, and taxing billionaires. And then there's some more detail about them.
I can't see it yet.
You can't see it? Am I sharing the right screen?
No. Can anyone else see it?
Yeah.
Oh, Phil. I can send it to you, Juliet.
Yep, thanks.
We just got an office mobile phone now,
so we can see it now. Thanks, Kroger.
Awesome. There we can fill that. I've finally got an office mobile today, so I can fill that in. But yeah, these just relate to those things at the front. that text I'm going to make not caps. And again, this is all done by a volunteer as well, a volunteer graphic designer. So looks pretty cool. So there's that one.
Looks great.
What else are we doing, Beck? Oh,
Yeah.
Andy's doing an art auction, and she's been donated works of art worth massive amounts. We've got a donation cap of how much we can accept in for those, but that's going to be amazing. I think she's doing a really fancy invite only thing for like the mega rich people that want to help her campaign. So that's really
I don't know
exciting.
any of those ones.
Me neither.
Craig. They're not on my friends list.
Yeah, me neither.
But, hey, there's the other thing that I don't
Oh,
know.
there's
if
the
we can-
comedy night.
That's what I was just going to say. I
that's
don't
so
know if we can
exciting.
mention that. There's going to be a really exciting event that everyone, that won't be, you don't have to spend thousands of dollars to be
Oh
there.
yeah, who's she got?
That's
She's got
really
Will
fun.
Anderson and Kitty Flanagan and all
Oh,
these like,
wow.
who else has she got? I
I
can't
think
remember.
there was someone else. There's someone else's name who.
There's all
I
these
know, but
celebrity
it's not confirmed
helmet
yet.
comedians, and
really
so
good.
we're going to get the like biggest venue in the region and sell tickets, and it'll be epic. Who else? Oh yeah, the guy that's
When is
running.
that?
Guy that runs. That's in August. I think. The guy that runs Falls Festival is going to put on a festival or something with like Powderfinger and what's that guy's name?
I don't know
Bird
if that's
Evening?
been. I don't know if that's been confirmed yet. That might
Ah.
just be a rumor that everyone here has heard, and we'll
It's
you
so
can be
exciting.
pleasantly surprised.
It's so
So that,
good.
yeah, there's lots because we have to fundraise so much money
Yeah.
because we don't just accept bags of cash from coal and gas companies. which has
And
its
New South
downside.
Wales Greens actually puts a limit of $4,000, which seems
Yeah.
like heaps to us, but like some rich people would like $4,000's nothing, but then that's all they can give. So we've like, it's seriously going to be like
Can I
millions
just
of
ask,
donations.
Gregor, can you, I'm not sure, has the amount of donations of artwork been reached already
No,
for auctioning?
As in,
No.
do we have?
Because
are we
we've
full with
donated Aboriginal art that we brought home from Utopia a few years ago for
Amazing.
Climate Council, and yeah, we'd be happy to donate another beautiful canvas.
Awesome.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Mm.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Hey
yeah.
guys, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to drop out early, but I'll come back and watch the recording for the rest of it. But
Yeah, no
thanks
worries.
for all that info. And
Yeah, and Georgie, you, Cass, and Lily, I think, are all at the May 15 one. So you might want to decide between you who runs that one and who runs the May 22nd one.
okay.
I can't be
We can
at
do bits.
May 15. I
Oh,
can't
that's
be-
right. That's
yeah,
right.
but
You, that's
I'll
right.
be there. I'll be there on May 22, which is good because
Okay.
I live in Bruns. So
Great. So
Okay.
if maybe Georgie and Lily, you do the first one, and then you can support Cass to do the second one.
Great.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
See you, Georgie.
Yeah, if anyone else wants to go, feel free, because I think unless you've got other questions and stuff. If you want to
I
listen.
might go, Craig, because I got to get ready for the next meeting.
Oh, fun times.
I'll see you there. Andy.
Bye.
Oh, Beck, you're a legend.
Yeah, you're such a legend, Beck. Bye. Yeah, so if there's no
Okay,
other
so-
questions. Yeah.
Where to from here? I know we've got the, what is it, 15th?
Mm. So next week I'm gonna
organise.
to people to call. You're welcome. I can give you a list of people to invite to come who've done this before. In Murwillumbah, I think there's about 15 people
great.
that you can have a buzz. Same, Andy. There's a bunch of people that live
Excellent.
around Byron, and that would pump those two teams in size. I'm going to help you do those on Monday and Tuesday, but whatever time you've got, that's sort of the best time to get in touch. After that, it's too late because people have planned their weekend. Yeah.
Mm.
So does
Yeah,
that
so
work?
I can make some calls, Craig, if that's
Yeah.
Is that the
'cause-
plan?
you know Nation Builder too, so I can make a
Yeah.
list for you in there and show you.
Yeah,
Amazing. Yeah.
yeah.
That would be
Monday's
great.
good for me, Craigus.
Okay. Awesome.
If you have volunteers who say they can't come do the times allotted,
Yeah.
rather like that afternoon question,
Mm.
but would be happy to take a folder, take surveys and do it in their own time? How does
Yeah,
that
for
work?
sure. I think Angus, you were talking about doing with your friend some surveys just to get the numbers if the numbers aren't reached. You can do them anytime. It's just about, I guess the voter data is sensitive, so it needs to come back. Because it's actually like an offence to someone chucks it away and finds it, and then we can be busted and get big fines.
And
That's about the only
appropriate arrangements with
yeah.
the volunteers
If you
that are doing
organise with them and you go, cool, this is the staff, do it in the next day or two, and then give me the thing back totally. Because you're right, Andy. Some people are home at different times, and you know, it's a really tricky one. Yeah. Cool.
And
all right.
Juliet, you're doing Murwillumbah, yes?
Yeah.
Well, because I live at Stoker's Siding, so
Okay.
if on the 22nd, which is when Cass can do North Byron, then if you need more help on the 22nd, I could maybe come up and help you.
Yeah, sweet.
We can work.
Oh,
with
that'd
it.
be good.
Yeah.
There was actually one other guy in Murwillumbah as well that might want to be interested. He can't do May 15. Oh no, he's going to be at May 15, and then he said he can do May 22 if you like, Juliet. Yeah, we'll just watch.
Who's that, Craig?
Thomas Mayfield. Do you know the name ring a bell? Or she's frozen. No. Well, yeah, I think we'll be okay for leaders, I hope. And also there's me and Beck, so I think whichever teams are looking the lightest, me and Beck will go and help them out. So it could be Murwillumbah because it's a big town and we need the data for that town. Oh, it sounds like we've lost the sound with Juliet. Something's going on in Murwillumbah.
Yeah.
We'll find out what it is.
She's back.
Yeah. Classic. Did you have something, Juliet, you wanted to say?
No, I'm good.
You're good. All right. Well, thanks everyone. You're all legends. Like seriously, it's going to be us. It's crazy. The seats that we've won. It's seriously been a core of small number of people that have made a difference, and in this seat, that's us and Mandy, obviously. So thank you. And yeah, I'll send you those call lists if you want to do some calls, and we'll see you on Monday, or at least we'll see your photos if you send them to me, and then we'll get together after the surveys and we'll have a little social dinner or something at the office.
When are you sending to us the list of our volunteers, the people?
Yeah. I'll probably send them to you like on Thursday.
Okay.
Then you can message them on the Friday. It's just I'll be recruiting on the Monday and Tuesday, and then on the Wednesday I'll send a text message, and then Thursday the list should be pretty
Friday
full.
I do work elsewhere, so
okay. I can send them on Thursday morning.
Okay, that'll be
How's
great.
that?
Do that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank
and
you.
then don't forget that you and George will be splitting up the tasks about getting in touch with people. And Okay, cool.
Oh.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Nice
Okay.
to meet
Thanks,
you.
Greg.
Legends.
Thanks, Craig.
Thanks. See ya.
Bye.
Thanks, Craig.
Yeah.
Bye.
Legend.